Life has been extremely busy. Family emergency and all. So although the plants have continued to grow, I've been doing nothing with them. And today is the first day I have a moment when I can do something. And this sun gold, as you can see, started 22nd of November last year. Is starting to do the same as its previous counterpart, which is to take over the whole space. So today I am going to transfer it outside. I'm not going to show you the process, only to say I've created a self-watering system. I'll show you my self-watering system, and then I'm going to take a risk and take it out, and I'll give you my rationale in a minute. The reason why this baby needs to come outside is because, as you can see, it has taken over totally and completely to the point that it's now not big enough to live in the house. And therefore what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set it up in this pot. But I'm now looking at it and realizing that the pot is small because it's the same size as this. And yet I'm hoping to bury it deeper. So now this means I need to get one of my bigger pots and use that one instead. The plan is that it is going to be sat on here. Water source is here. We've got a brick wall which will keep it warm, and hopefully it will survive there quite nicely like its previous counterparts. So because I've now decided to change the pot for a bigger one, I need to get that and get it sorted. This 30-litre pot is a good size. However, it does not fit well on here, but I think it's still going to be a better option than anything smaller, because let's have a look. If I get this guy, in fact, let me do it this way. As you can see, I'll be able to bury this tomato plant quite deep into the pot and get rid of some of what is currently growing, in order that we can create a younger but healthier plant. So let's get on and see how we can achieve this. Okay, we're done. What I've done is all here. Let me show you. So this is the sun gold that was growing in the house throughout the winter, and you see how tall it is. It's already almost hitting the top. I've taken off quite a few of the branches. It's in a larger pot. Hopefully it will take to its new home, and this will help me to get new babies like this. This will be put into the ground probably next to it, so that it will take over the mature plant when it starts to fail. As you can see, I've got a lot of babies, all enthusiastic about growing, and I'm going to harvest them and create new plants for the summer. Something else I've done is take some of those babies and put them into nurseries. So this is a pot which I've actually sat on top of the quad something or other. These are greenhouse sensation pots, and I found that you can use a lot of different pots in them. So this one is sat here with two plants taken from the main sun gold plant. I've stuffed these two into this pot to start seeing how they feel about growing up there. And I'm thinking my aubergines, let me show you my greenhouse since I have nothing much to show you. I've been waiting for time to be in the garden. Family took priority, but I've got purple sprouting broccoli which needs to go into the allotment, but it's still waiting for that time when I have time. Aubergines which are already flowering and need to be potted up. My daughter's sunflowers, so I've got a whole lot of aubergines all the way down in there. These are broccolis, but they're still quite tiny. More aubergine there. In here, I've got peppers, which are starting to flower. I've also got peppers which are flowering indoors. I've got more aubergines. I've got Turkish aubergine there, which is desperate to flower. As you can see, these are flowers just there. Down here, I've got plants which I don't know. If anyone knows what this is, please tell me, because I have no clue what it is I'm growing. But it's growing well. I've forgotten what these are. I think that's rape. I've got some more tomatoes here, and I've forgotten the make of them, but they need to go out as well and get planted up. Further down, I've got more mix of plants. I've got some kaleets as well as this other plant, which I'm not sure what it is, but it's growing really well. I've got courgettes, don't know what make. That's how stressful life has been. I've got these okra, which is struggling a little bit with the heat because it has been quite hot, but I gave them some water today. Below them, I think these are cabbages. I think, I'm not sure. Anyway, they've got water, so I have no idea why they're wilting so much. It's probably because it's been so hot, because this is a south-facing garden. Then, this is all at home actually, not even the allotment. We got peas. These are the Meteor, and they're starting to flower as well, which is brilliant. I have no clue how tall they get, because this is the support system I set up for them, but I'll have to look it up. In here, we got a volunteer tomato plant from the tomatoes I had last year in here, and I think this is another one here. So I'm not touching that. I'm just leaving it to its own devices. Let it do what it wants to do. I just need to add some compost to that, and probably peppers will go in there, although I grew peppers in there last year. Wow, finally. This morning when I came out, there was nothing. And now, in here, this is sweet corn. Finally starting to peek out. There's one there. And there's another little, oh, there's a few, 3, 4. This morning there was nothing. In the back here, we have blueberries, which are flowering a lot, and a couple of volunteer strawberries, which I'm not going to move. In here, using the ends of my cloches, which I bought from B&Q. I have no clue what I planted in here, but it's starting to germinate. I transplanted a couple of mint into that container, and they seem to have taken well and are happy, so hopefully they'll spread throughout that level, and then it will become my mint section. I've got strawberries in here, which seem to be doing fine, and in fact we have some fruit already, or flowers about to come up. This is a weed, I know that much. So this was a pot I made last year with a lot of food matter in the bottom of it, so it's doing well. I've got another one here which is also doing fine and flowering, so that's another one which seems to be happy. What else do I have to show you? I need to do some more carrot sowing. I did the chitting of carrots before growing them, and these are the only ones that seem to have been successful. The ones I put in this pot, which is not a, what's it called? I've forgotten the name of it. It's not a fabric pot, didn't do so well. But I think if I remember correctly, I threw some celery seeds in here. So I'll leave it for a little while and see what happens. On the table, we got beetroot that needs to go in. I've got quite a few different types of courgettes, and as you can see, this one is already desperate to, you know, live, and thinks it's dying. As you can see, it's not very happy in here. I hope it's not the yellow one, because the yellow one was the one that was the most difficult to grow last year, and I promised myself I wouldn't grow it again, but maybe I have. Even this one here looks like it's trying to do something. So The kale failed, so I'll just direct sow some kale and hope it will grow. This was left over. I don't even know whether this is mine or my daughter's, but these look like tomatoes. I have no clue what they are, but I'll leave them. They're growing. Okay, so slowly and surely, this is all going to fill up. I'm going to keep 2 aubergine plants here. I'm going to take the rest to the allotment, and they have to be put into the ground. Because, well, maybe 3. Because I need 3 pots. 4 pots for 4 aubergines to stay here, and they grow quite big is the issue, so they need big pots as well, and I haven't got enough space here for everything that I need to grow, so a lot of it has to go to the allotment, but it is as it is. That is the way of life at the moment. Okay, right, I hope that is satisfactory enough, that it makes up for my absence for such a long time. These peas need to find their way to the edge and realize that there's someone there to hold on to, rather than trying to hold on to each other. They're like, oh my God, there's no one to hold on to. I'd left a center point where I was going to put something for them to climb up. Maybe I should try and do that. But I'm running out of stakes. So let's try that and see. Really need to organize this. Once things start growing, organization becomes easier. But until they do, let's see what happens if I put one of these down the center. Let's see if they'll wrap around it. If they do, I'll put a few more up and see how they do. I've got some Chinese cabbage indoors, which is germinating. I've also got, wow, look at this twist. I can't undo it, but I'm sure they'll work it out and find their way up this central pole, and then we'll have peas. Okay. A few more strawberries here. My hanging basket broke, so I need to get another one for these guys here so they can go back in and hang up top. Okay. Ooh, I don't even know what this is, but I've got enough plants going. And best of all, sun gold will hopefully cope with these temperatures and not wilt and sulk so badly that it dies off before I've gotten any more baby plants to carry on. Because that's what we're going to do, is we're going to use this as the mother plant to produce more babies, which are more mature and will therefore start to flower a lot sooner than you'd expect them to. This is a wheelbarrow I need to put together to replace the one that was stolen from me, but that's for another day. Okay, I think that is enough for today. Thank you. Oh, one last thing I need to show you. I'd forgotten about these guys. In here I put some purple sprouting broccoli in order that in case I didn't get down to the allotment, I would have at least one. And as you can see, we've got a slug problem, but I'll buy something to sort that out. It won't be long. I should have done a slug elimination prior to starting planting, but I did not. But this is a situation that can easily be resolved. I'm still in 2 minds because I bought this linen basket with a plan to put all my strawberries in it, and I'm still of the mind that it might still be a good idea with a slight difference. So watch that space, it might still happen. Okie dokie, hasta la vista.